All right, here we go. We're back for episode 73, another fun-filled week. I think we're going to keep it mainly tech news, even though I kind of want to talk about stocks, but we'll see how it goes. Another all-time high. Oh, big news. The U.S. is now turning into a socialist country, or communist country, depending on how far this goes, but taking a 10% stake in Intel. I don't know if that's good or bad. Talk about that. And then September's rolling around, so of course we are starting with the iPhone 17 weeks ahead of its event. Don't have a date yet, but it always happens in September. And then a bit more AI news between Apple and Meta, since we've talked about Meta in the past, about their super intelligence AI unit. There we go. A couple of different topics.
I think we'll get into it when we talk about iPhone, but I think the speculated is September 8th.
Oh, is that the date?
Yeah, it's usually around that.
That would be like next week then.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But yeah, let's talk about stocks to start with. Crazy Friday.
Crazy week in general.
What Tony we're referring to is if you're in the market, stocks went ballistic to the upside yesterday, all due to the Fed, Jerome Powell's dovish stance coming from the Jackson Hole, Wyoming meeting.
Wait, hawkish or dovish?
Dovish.
Was it dovish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He basically signaled that it's time for rate cuts.
Okay.
And so people took that as most likely getting a rate cut in September. And I know you don't think there's still going to be one, but that's what the translation from the speech was. And so, yeah, actually, I'm with you. Maybe there won't be one in September. And so if there isn't, then you can expect stocks to tank.
Yeah, we were texting about it, but I was reading a bit more, and I think there's a lot of commentary that it was basically Powell caving to Trump in signaling that he might consider dropping rates. So I thought that explanation would make sense to me for him to actually cut is because of basically giving in to Trump. Because of all the things he could have addressed, like Trump he wants to fire Cook, has been throwing lawsuits or trying to have the DOJ sue Powell for mismanagement or whatnot. And then, of course, his basically daily rants to drop rates to 1%. So this felt like, his speech felt like, give up, fine, here, we'll consider dropping rates. Which historically, the way the current and if you listen to his speech, it's actually like, okay, this doesn't sound good at all, but you're going to cut rates, right? So he acknowledged they have no idea how bad tariffs are going to impact inflation. Employment, which is the other mandate, huge revisions, but still unemployment is like slightly above 4%, which is historically okay. And so for them to consider dropping rates when technically they should probably think about increasing rates. Just because tariffs we're starting to see the effects.
Holding at least.
Yeah, we're starting to see the effects now. It is impactful. Like you can see it. All the prices are increasing. And then if the economy is strong, as Trump keeps saying, then that theoretically should put pressure on wages to go up, which also adds to inflation. It was like a weird thing. And so, I was reading commentary that Powell seems like he's given up and is finally bending the knee to the king, which is actually disturbing.
That's why I don't think he's going to he's going to lower the rates in September. I think he is. I don't know much about Powell. All I know is traditionally he hasn't been one to cave in. He's been pretty public and vocal on he does not take, direction or commands from the president. He's his own person or his own, he relies on the data. He has the best interest of what the data is telling us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think he's caving in, but maybe he is. He can't get fired.
Yeah. He can get sued. Apparently he can get threatened.
And he's going to be, his term is up, I think, next year. Yeah. So who knows? But Yeah, that's why it's tough to be to be in the market right now to know where it's
Yeah.
going to go.
Yeah.
To your point, because I texted you about things and you said that he won't raise rates. I actually probably tend to agree with you. I don't think there are lower rates in
Mm-hmm.
September. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be more December, maybe. I think he's saying that this is what the data is saying,
Yeah.
and that if things were to hold the way they are, maybe if unemployment were to increase a bit, then yes, they would need to lower rates.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he'll wait another month to see what the tariff effect
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. It it didn't seem like he was. I didn't hear him signal like September, but maybe end of the year they might drop it depending.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see. The poly market bets have started rolling in, so
What are they saying?
increased likelihood of September. I think it was like 20-30% now of the rate drop in
Yeah.
September. So we'll see.
That's still low.
Yeah. But then now it's like, all right, so market hit all-time highs on Friday. I mean, it was up like 1.5%, it was like 100 points. Does it keep climbing through September? That's my worry. It's like,
Well,
I'm not invested enough in the market or in asset.
September
Yeah.
is only a week and a half away. I think it'll climb a bit. I don't think it's going to keep climbing, but I do think it'll stay at a high level
Yeah.
for some time as people wait for that date.
Yeah.
Usually it happens after the CPI and PPI, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah, after same week.
Because he wants to see what the inflation did before making any
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah. I'd have to look. I don't have my FOMO calendar up, but
All I am is happy that I didn't really sell much. I was repositioning.
yeah.
So I was selling, but I was putting it into different plays.
Hmm.
And I had bought back into crypto when Ethereum hit that bottom of that box that I showed
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
And so
That was a good
I
call.
took the money.
Yeah. ETH hit all-time highs yesterday also. So
Yeah. I almost got FOMO and bought back in when it had that bounce.
yeah.
I was like, oh no, let me just wait. And it
Yeah.
off. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But okay, so we'll see. September, the next 30 days as this market is gonna be another ride.
Yeah.
I do think everybody knows the market still needs a pullback.
Mm-hmm.
That will happen sometime soon. So
We'll
just,
see.
get your stop losses set, take
Yeah.
some profit off the table. It's coming.
And yeah, or it could be like the most hated melt up ever, just like COVID.
All right.
So speaking
Related
of
to
investments,
investments, you probably all heard that the US, otherwise known as Trump, took a 10% stake in Intel. Man, I'm so mad because, well, not mad, just shucks.
mm-hmm,
I had my chip stocks, Mangot,
mm-hmm,
and I stopped investing in Intel just because I was like, I don't know what Intel's doing.
yeah,
So I don't have any more Intel. But the US government is taking a 10%, roughly $9 billion in Intel in
mm-hmm,
exchange for about a 10% equity in the company. But there's some reading between the lines. It's saying here in this article from Reuters, the money which the struggling chip maker was slated to receive anyway under the Federal Funding Act will not be enough for its contract chip making business to flourish, an analyst says. Basically, it
mm-hmm,
needs more than $10 billion to
yeah,
actually do anything.
yeah,
However, this is still a statement that the government has interest in keeping Intel afloat.
yeah,
So maybe in the next few years here, we can say Intel won't go bankrupt or anything.
yeah,
Perhaps it's a good investment. What are
yeah.
your thoughts?
So here's the
Perhaps it's a good investment.
detailed,
What are your thoughts?
which is par for the course for Trump, is taking credit for things that he's actually didn't do. So it's like you said, it's about a 9 billion stake for common stock, but the money is coming from Biden era things, right? So, what was it? So the CHIPS Act that hadn't been paid yet to Intel, so they're pulling from that, and then another like a grant through what is this? The
Secure
Secure
Enclave.
Enclave program. So basically, all the money is coming from things that Biden had initiated during his admin, but I guess Trump is rebranding all of it as under the pretext that it was his ideas and stuff, which is, it's, I guess, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, on the one hand, it's like this guy, he just keeps taking credit for things that he hasn't actually done. And he was very against the CHIPS Act too when it passed. But now he's using the funds from it to basically do the same thing. So that's one. Two, it's like, of all the things we can invest in, is Intel really other than, yes, it is our only, well, not our only, but, a US based
Yeah.
semiconductor versus Taiwan semi. But it's in such terrible shape that it seems like a bad investment.
Well, we've talked about Intel before.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Intel is like the US darling, right? Of
I mean,
semiconductor
it
chips
used to,
from the 90s.
yeah,
And they have the infrastructure in place to do what's needed. It's just, I think, organizationally,
yeah,
it's an island, it's a continent to get to move,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Um, like in my mind, the only way it would work is if Intel focused on their foundry business, right? And then you force AMD and NVIDIA to build their chips with Intel.
Did you say their founder business?
Their foundry business?
Oh, foundry. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, to me, that would be the only way this would make sense, or to accomplish whatever Trump is trying to accomplish, as far as like bringing manufacturing back to the US and whatnot, right? That would make most sense. Because the Intel chips, I mean, yeah, they're still out there, but they're just not cutting edge, right?
Yeah.
Like they used to be way back when they first introduced the Pentium. Um, but to me,
Oh,
that's what the next step would be, is that they would then need to say, hey, NVIDIA, AMD, you guys need to start putting some of your business into an American manufacturer, versus using Taiwan Semi. But I think AMD is partnering with Samsung, so maybe AMD gets out of it. But I think NVIDIA probably is the one that's going to have more problems.
well, in the last 6 months here, AMD is up 110%.
Yeah, AMD is up big.
In the last 6 months here, Intel's up 50%
Hmm.
from its low, but it's been kind of holding this range. I don't know.
I think Intel was like it's up, but it's not up because it's doing better, right? It's up because of all the rumors of it's going to get acquired. SoftBank is, putting in however many billion and stuff. It's like it's being floated by news. It's not actually being floated by the business getting better.
Mhm. So do you think the business does get better?
I don't like, this is just like again, it's just money coming from previous things that were announced, but fundamentally, I haven't seen anything about changing about the business. So no, I
Yeah.
don't think it gets better.
I think it's probably for me, I mean, it's been holding this support for like the last year at around 18, $19.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it's interesting to see the activity too going on.
Yeah.
I
But is
think it's
that?
probably a good time to like start a position, consolidate around
Hmm.
the 20 level.
Yeah.
And this is not financial advice, entertainment only what we think. Because I think long term, someone's going to probably step in or something's going to step in to keep it. The US wants to be a player in the chip
Yeah.
manufacturing
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. But with this talk, everybody references the grandma Intel meme from Reddit.
oh, yeah, yeah.
If you don't know what that is, just look up Intel grandma Reddit, and you'll see. Basically, this guy was like last year basically sunk his entire inheritance of $700,000 into Intel a year ago because he had this bull thesis on it. But anyways, so it became a meme instantly because Intel basically tanked like 20-30% after he did that.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
so we shall see. It was funny
Yeah. All right. Well,
because that's it. Oh, there's a screenshot. Intel was at like $30 when he did this.
oh, he did it.
Yes. So if he's still holding, he is still bigly underwater.
What is that? 50%? No, 30
Well,
to
if you
20.
said, if you like what you said, if like the past 6 months Intel is up 50%, right? So that, it dropped to like what, under $20. So if he was in at 30, right, he like basically was underwater like 40-50% for most of the year.
Crazy.
So anyways, Intel is a stock I don't even consider just because it's like it's dead money. But we'll see. I know I could totally be wrong. Again, not investment advice. Do your own research.
Do your own research. Actually, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say wait a minute. I did actually adjust one of my Mango portfolios to start dollar cost averaging into Intel.
Okay. All right.
So I'll be decent,
Wish you luck.
but I'm getting rid of 2 other chip companies that have just not really been doing it for me.
Which ones?
On Semiconductor and Marvell Technologies,
Oh, okay.
some kind of smaller no names.
Yeah. 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 Marvel's always been boring to
Yeah.
me, but
All right.
okay.
Let's move into iPhone leaks.
Yeah.
So iPhone event is around the corner. September 8th is the speculated date, but ahead of this event, it seems everything has been leaked. Now, usually we get a couple leaks, like
Yeah.
maybe like a prototype that's seen, or we usually know like what the iPhone is mostly going to look like before the event. But
Mm-hmm.
it seems this time the entire presentation was leaked because not only do they talk about the iPhone, they talk about the AirPods, they talk about everything. But what
Mm-hmm.
we're going to focus on the iPhone in this segment right here. iPhone 17. I think some of the biggest changes that are coming is they're going back to aluminum. Remember, the very first iPhone was like plastic.
Yeah.
Then it switched to all aluminum, then to stainless steel, then they switched to titanium
Mm-hmm.
in the last, I think, 2 or 3 iPhones. And now they're going back to aluminum. iPhone 17, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max. The biggest changes as well are the camera just keeps getting uglier and uglier.
Yeah. It's like,
And they have a huge battery that's supposed to last a long time. So
yeah.
if you take a look at the iPhone, which we're showing on the B-roll right now, the camera is now just another. It looks like an attachment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not seamless anymore with the phone,
I mean,
but it's supposed to get. Let's see, what was the
yeah.
pixel?
I mean, it's never been seamless, but yeah, this one, it looks like for the Pixel owners out there, it's like Pixel-esque in that
Yeah.
the camera knob is not a knob, but it's just a hub.
Well, it has been seamless, but it's been like since the iPhone, I think 10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Last time the camera was seamless. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
point is
Yeah.
that
Seriously.
it
Because I
keeps
was
getting
like,
more and more out there.
yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, at least like it'll balance the phone. Like if you for this caseless phone, you can lie it down and it won't wobble.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
big.
One of the big things though is they're expected to launch an iPhone 17 Air. So this is the first Air model of the iPhone, and the speculation, it looks like it's going to be super thin.
It's like, do we really need a thinner phone? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'd be so scared I'd break it because, like, I'm a pocket phone person, so I'll just, throw my phone into my back pocket of my jeans. Sometimes I'll sit down and whatnot. But yeah, does it need to be thinner? I don't think it does.
Well, I think like where people are going towards is the glass phone, right?
Man, could
People
be.
want a glass phone, which is super thin. But before we get there, we need the foldable phone, which is thicker when it's folded, but you can do
No,
more.
no.
And everyone puts a case on their phone anyways, or most people do. So yes, like, do you really need a thin phone?
Yeah.
Not sure. I was trying to get. They showed. They leaked the camera pixels,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty high. I think I want to say it was like 24 pixels now,
Mm-hmm.
which is in comparison to the Google phones, which are like in the I think 40-ish pixels.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, not as great, but
Mm-hmm.
with Apple software, it actually makes the photos a lot better.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I'm
Are
due for
you?
iPhone equip this year, so I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
But yeah, I
I'm
think
not, so I will have to skip this generation.
you'll have to skip the generation.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
last year. Oh,
Yeah.
you got the new one?
Yeah. I got a 16.
You haven't been giving us the updates in Apple Intelligence.
So I don't use it. I haven't tried it. I haven't enabled it. I see a pop up every now and then, but I haven't been tempted to use it. I guess maybe I should, but it's just not. I remember when it first launched, but it was just like terrible. So I just stopped. So once you don't build the habit, and then I usually use ChatGPT, so that's why. And of
Yeah.
course, Gemini at the time, since I was at Google, it's kind of forced myself to have to use Gemini too.
Well, this will be my first phone with Apple Intelligence hardware. So
Maybe you'll get to use the new Siri with it.
yeah.
And that leads us to our next one. Tidbit, rumor mill that came out on Friday, which gave actually Google. This news pushed Google up almost to like a 210, so above 200, which is a good place to be. So the news is Apple is in talks to use Gemini to power Siri, which is a little bit different than how Apple Intelligence works today, which is where it kind of like offloads your inquiry or search to a third-party provider. So you ask something, it decides it can't answer it, so it says, we need to use, Chat GDP to do this. Are you okay? And they'll kind of like send you off to that experience. I think this rumor is a little bit different in that Apple's considering like using the like a Gemini to basically underpin or power the actual Siri, whatever platform person thing. So yeah, so that rumor came out Friday. Gave a little bit of boost to both Apple and Google. And also, I don't know, people rumor mill also is like seems like it's signaling that Apple is kind of given up, right? That they can't do it. And now they're looking at ways to basically bring AI into the whatever ecosystem through third parties now. Kind of like what they do with search, right? They
Yeah.
don't have their own search and they basically pay Google to do it. And so maybe they're kind of giving up on AI, even though Tim Cook said like it is like the most consequential thing that Apple can be focusing on,
I
which is
don't think
kind of
they're giving
weird.
up. I think they don't know how to do it. They can't buy companies, which is tough for them, and they can't do it internally, which is an organizational failing, I guess.
Yeah. So, anyways, apparently it's just a rumor, preliminary talks, but these things tend to sometimes come true. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, 2 more weeks, or maybe three more weeks actually, and we'll have the event.
Yeah. So Meta also came out with news this week. Zuckerberg basically said they are restructuring their AI unit and pausing all AI hiring, which is kind of funny because we were talking about the $100 million pay packages. They were trying to lure people to come join their super intelligence unit. But yeah, so basically they are pausing hiring and restructuring their AI org again. So I don't know what that means.
Why?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or they're just like, oh yeah, this super intelligence huge thing is not going to work. So yeah, so basically they broke out into like 3 or 4 different AI units now. Just
They
reading the
probably made
details.
those first initial hires, and then these like entitled, super smart, rich AI guys came in, and they're like butting heads.
Yeah, so it looks like their generative AI unit was scrapped. They're pivoting on the AI models. I think Zuckerberg has been talking about maybe going open source was not the way. And so maybe now they're building like their own private, whatever company versions of these models. But yeah, 4 groups. They have a lab focused on large language models like Llama. There's the research arm. Um, there's a products and applied research teams, which I guess is going to, I don't know, maybe the Meta glasses get some enhanced AI, whatever. and then infrastructure, which I guess kind of makes sense because there's got to be infra for all of this. But yeah, so we'll see. I think everybody saw this coming when the $100 million pay packages were leaked out there. Something had to give. Looks like something is giving. But anyways, we'll see. It was just like a tidbit or something that Zuck put out there. But we'll see how that plays out for the next week. It feels diverse-ish, right? Ish. So we'll see. Pausing hiring, that's a thing. Don't know what that means for long term. There's more talk of an AI bubble. Sam Altman has been saying he thinks we are also in a bubble. So I don't know. The dominoes have to start falling at some point. Maybe this is kind of the signal of the top. So we'll see.
I think it's definitely the signal at the top of a lot of things. Market's frothy. AI is in a bubble because everyone's excited. The economy is okay, but not great.
So
People
we
have
shall
money for some
see.
reason.
Yeah, well, at the end of the year, we'll look back to this episode and say, all right, where are we with AI and everything? I don't know. But all right, that's what we have. There we go. Minutes. We're 10 minutes over
Yeah,
again.
we're at 31 minutes exactly.
Good timing.
All right, well, stay safe there in the markets. Let's see. It's September, January, March.
September is historically a down month,
It is.
right? And then we kind of ramp up in the last quarter. So we'll see if we end up being a up month until FOMC, and maybe that starts to down. I don't know. At this point, it's like I don't even know what the market does anymore. It's like don't know.
Yeah. I think my call is still 50-50 if they're going to lower rates.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, if they do lower rates, it's going to be sell the news. If they don't lower rates, it's going to be fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
Market's going to go down.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. So puts for September.
Puts for September. Start to locking in that profit. Yeah.
All right. There we go. 73 in the books.
What's up?
73 in the books.
73 in the books. We'll talk next week, Tony.
All right. See you later.